currency, Naira, as part of ways to revive the economy, some say the failing economy, and of course how it does affect small and medium scale businesses in the country. In the studio with me this morning is the CEO, Havila and Hughes, and convener Top South, that's Uche and Aniche. Thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah, Rotimi, it's a pleasure, man.
All right. First, let me say Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Rotimi.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Now, let's look at the effect of devaluation of Naira on the economy, and some say it would, of course, go a long way because it's about when you try to make the import more expensive, and of course make export
attractive.
What's your take about that?
This is definitely something that I would have wished that this was planned. This was planned. That is not the world economic crisis that's forcing us to do this.
Okay.
But this is definitely it's a good thing, really. I think personally it's a good thing. And if you followed me online, you discover I've talked about it. I've talked about it severally. I think that is a good way to go.
All right. Looking at the fact that we've not been able to establish a realistic and sustainable microeconomic policy in Nigeria over the years, and recently, former Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) governor, that's Sanusi Lamido, called on his successor to devalue the Naira and warned that Africa's biggest economy is in danger of a long-term slump unless the government confronts slowing growth. Now, if I want to quote him, he said, let's stop being in denial. We cannot artificially hold up the currency. That's according to Sanusi. And under the current governor, that's Godwin Emefiele, Nigeria Central Bank cut dollar funding since March. But in another opinion, the Central Bank of Nigeria disclosed that it refused to further devalue the Naira because it would not have had direct impact on the country's export as a mono economy.
Yeah, of course you know that when it comes to this economic thing, there will always be a for and against.
Okay.
For me as a person, my position is I would have actually, even though it's a sentimental position, I would have said allow the Naira to fall. It's going to have their consequences on the economy generally. It's going to have their consequences on the masses generally. Yes, but for how long are we going to continue to live in denial? Just like Sanusi said. Okay, how long are we going to continue to live in denial? Allow it fall. Let our people wake up and become more productive.
How do you mean wake up?
Now, do you know that as of I got angry a few days ago when I saw the Minister of Education quoted to have said, somebody quoted him to have said that Nigeria will start producing pencils in 2 years. Rotimi, I got very offended. Pencils. Now, somebody now made it more difficult when they told me that we don't even produce toothpick. Now, it's not as if I didn't know about the toothpick end, because I mean it's been a cliche for a while, okay, but the pencil issue drove it home for me. We don't produce pencil. For crying out loud, what does it take to produce pencil? Right? So I went online immediately to research what it takes to produce pencil. Look me, that's not what should take us 2 years to achieve. And that also shouldn't be the government's priority. Do you understand? It shouldn't be the government driving pencil production. Do we also need an economic environment being conducive for people to embark on pencil production? Do you understand? So for people who would not embark on pencil production, I think we're sleeping. So that's what I mean by wake up. We need to wake up. We don't need the government to do anything for us to do things like pencil. For crying out loud, you used pencil when you were growing up, and I'm sure you still use pencil.
Yeah, maybe once in a while.
So how come your children will use pencil?
Definitely.
So how come nobody has taught these guys to set up a pencil production plant in this country? and we have cement production plants. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't make sense at all. That's why we need.
So what should be their priority? You said that shouldn't be their priority in the first place.
For instance, the Ministry of Education, production of pencil. I don't know how they want. I didn't read that report. I was too angry to read that report. But I don't know what they intend to do. But setting up a factory to produce pencil should not be the Ministry of Education's priority. Alright? If anything, they should look inward to see how to encourage private individuals to set up factories to produce pencil, not necessarily government-driven stuff. Yeah.
Now, the other time you actually supported the fact that devaluation of Naira can help the economy. Now, some people believe that for a developing country like Nigeria, it's not advisable at this moment. What do you think?
My take is, if you continue to say it is not advisable, my question is, when is it going to be advisable? The earlier we started, the better. Now look at it this way. This whole oil crisis, oil industry crisis, would have been a positive thing for Nigeria if we had taken the steps like a decade ago. Now, do you know that the whole Naira devaluation thing would have actually worked to our favor, because we will be producing to export from a perceived weaker currency to a stronger currency, thereby earning more. So our country will earn more. This is exactly what China...
Yeah, but do we have those things to export? That's the issue.
We have to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere.
Well, we have not started. Do we need to go for devaluation?
Yes, we need to, if it will make us start. That's the point. When are you going to start? When are you going to start? That's the question. If you say don't, because we haven't started, the question is, when are you going to start? So we have to start from somewhere. I hope that the government is doing, I hope they are taking notes and they are getting ready to do the things that are necessary to ensure that things don't move, this policy direction doesn't change. And I also hope they are putting structures in place to get the populace, the citizens, to take advantage of this whole crisis. I hope they are doing that. But beyond the government, I hope that people are actually gearing up to see the opportunities inherent in this. Because that's the truth, there's opportunity in it.
But it's also believed that if we allow devaluation of Naira, it could bring about hyperinflation. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Yes, it could bring about hyperinflation at the end of the day. Because for now, when we import so much, we do not export like that. So if we say we want to discourage importation, and of course it will make import more expensive, don't you think it would affect what Nigerians need, especially key industries, those who want to import raw materials and all of that?
Rotimi?
Yes.
Yes, it has a potential to bring hyperinflation, yes. However, this is what I'm saying, or this is what I'm saying, that's why I'm saying the government should make sure they are doing the right things to ensure that the citizens take advantage of this situation. Now, you were discussing SMEs here, the impact of the devaluation on SMEs.
Yeah.
Our calls should actually be going to SMEs and individuals to begin to look for how to get local substitutes of the things that the materials they use that are usually imported. We should increase the awareness. We should increase publicity around these things. I read an article from a foreign journalist that interviewed one of the I think it was the guy at in Abuja, one of the luxury hotels in Abuja.
Okay.
Now they interviewed him, and he said that there are a lot of them are now looking inwards to look for the materials they needed to work that they usually imported. Now the problem would be for them to be looking inward and not finding those materials. Okay. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's where you would have hyperinflation, because it means that people are going to still look for means to get these things outside and then come back and sell it higher. But if they are looking for these materials, it means that the market already exists. So the problem now is, can the SMEs take advantage of this to look for local substitutes to these materials and make them available for people to buy from them?
Take for instance the pencil you're talking about. To make a pencil, you were going to say something about those materials used in making a pencil.
Graphite,
okay,
cedar, and what else? Cedar wood, then maybe the machinery, which importing machinery. I'm sure there are some there's some duty waivers on certain machineries.
Okay.
Now, but then you can import the machinery, but we can produce graphite locally.
What about the wood?
Cedar.
Yes.
And we don't have wood internally.
Or we can
Have you gone to Ogun? That Ijebu Ogun axis. What do they do there?
Okay.
So we have wood internally. I don't know if they're cedar woods, but we have wood internally. Cedar wood is the best wood, but that doesn't mean it has to be cedar wood. Okay. We can actually look for substitutes for cedar wood, and before you know it, it becomes the main thing for producing pencils globally. So we need to do it. The same thing. This is what China did. China is if not the third now, should be about the second largest economy in the world. Okay, this is what China did, and the US begged them for a long time, and they are still begging and coercing them to increase the value of their currency. Do you understand? So we can do the same thing, and it's not late.
But do you think the environment is conducive enough to actually